you guys, welcome to today's video. We are taking a look at my recommendations for the Sephora event. They don't like to say it's a sale, but it is. The sale starts on April 1st for Rouge, and they get 20% off. On April 5th, VIB comes in, just checking my notes, and they are 15% off. On April 7th, Insider gets 10% off. And of course, Lucy is like right here saying, please feed me. I just did. By the way, I'm wearing on my face everything that is going to be mentioned here. Well, no, that's not true. The things that I'm wearing today on my face are part of my recommendations. And rather than what I've usually done, which is separate skin care and hair care in one video and then doing makeup in another, I'm putting it all together, and I'm going to try my best not to talk too much, but I might stop once in a while and get into detail about some things. We'll see. I will be doing timestamps by category, and I'll probably break up the makeup into category as well. So there will be hair, skin, makeup, and then a subcategory in makeup for each area if you want to skip around a little bit. I'll also have everything linked below. A lot of the names I can't read because I'm blind, so the full names and the links down below, as well as those timestamps I was just talking about. And now, oh, one more thing. Would you give this video a thumbs up? I'd appreciate it. And now let's talk about me. I'm 59 years old, so the recommendations that I am making are based on my experience. My skin is on the drier side, my lids are crepey and hooded, my lips are super aware of the weight and the texture of products that I put on them. So this is my starting point. Boy, she's just really not gonna let me get away with this. Okay, I had to go feed my dog. Usually she'll just sit there and give me the beagle eyes. Just now, she was pawing at my leg, so, boy, she has me trained. All right, let's start at the very top of the head. Let's start with hair. My Aquas towel. This towel I've had for 30 years. They last forever, and clearly I haven't washed it too much. But it helps to keep your hair safe and from breakage and tangling from using a regular towel. It also absorbs the water better than a regular towel, and it's not as heavy. So if you do that wrap thing that everyone does, a regular towel, you're kind of like, and it's breaking your hair, because wet hair is a very vulnerable hair. You want to use something like an Aquas towel. Get it on sale. It'll last you, no kidding, forever. This is the Orbe shampoo, and I got this at the last sale, and I have plenty left because I only wash my hair once a week. So this is the signature, and I might get another one just to, to see what else is out there. But I really, really like this. I've been using it almost exclusively, and I think it's nice. I think it's actually worth splurging on. Another shampoo I really like is by Christophe Robin, and this I thought was a scalp scrub, but no, it's actually a shampoo. But because I only wash my hair once a week, sometimes I get some sweat buildup. It gets a little oily. Sometimes I go past a week, and I love to go in with this. I just part my hair and do it in a part, do it in a part, all over the place. It's not actually for dry hair, so it's not something I would use too often, but it's definitely something I use, and it's good to have on hand if you're like me and you're an infrequent washer or you have an oily scalp. For conditioner, I love the Living Proof Repair and Restore Mask, I think it's called. Here she comes again. She's just the boss. I love this. This is pretty much what I use exclusively. I have a couple of other conditioners that I go through. And this, which I got at the last sale, this is the Shuamuro Yuda Balance. Yeah, again, it's for blonde hair. I can't read it. It's pretty expensive. And I don't use it for every shampoo. When I do use it, I will often mix it with this and then comb it through, put my hair in, one of these sticks, and go on to shaving my legs and that kind of stuff. and then rinsing it out. So if you have blonde hair, if you're concerned, if you have hard water, you're concerned about brassiness between colorings, whatever the case might be, I think a blue is always a good idea. I don't like bluing shampoos because they dry your hair to the bone, and I don't like to use this for every shampoo. Speaking of shampoo, super dry shampoo from Way. I didn't know I had this because I have another one in my empties, and I thought, oh boy, I need some, but I don't. Yay. I don't use dry shampoo very often, honestly, and yet I seem to go through it pretty quickly. I'm not really sure how that works, but I love the one by Way, and I love the way it smells, so that's a good one. There's another product from Way for styling, and this I might get another one. This is the Heat Protectant Spray, and not only does it protect your hair, I've tried creams where it's like my hair feels awful. Like straw, and then you keep on going and you keep on going and finally like, oh, okay, I guess it's okay. But this doesn't do that. I really like this. It does protect, but it helps to hold your style as well. If your style falls out, just spend 10 minutes, not even, to get your wave back or your curl back, whatever, and it just kind of bounces right back. I think it's a pretty genius product. Also, the Olaplex Bond Smoother. I don't use it all the time, but it's a lovely cream that kind of smooths everything down, but it's also nourishing for your hair. So once in a while I dip into this. I've had this for a long, long time. You need the smallest bit. Don't go crazy. You're not going to be happy if you do. A couple of things from Color Wow. One, root powder. This is the best. It takes 3 minutes to put it in, and it will stay until you wash your hair again. It's not going to bleed, it's not going to fade, it's not going to go anywhere. It's the perfect color for me, and I love that. Also, of course, the Dream Coat. I've had this for a while. I don't use it too incredibly frequently, but if you live in a humid climate, you're probably going to want to try this really, if you get the frizzies. Also from Color Wow is the Dream Cocktail. This is a hydrator. So just like with your skin, you need both hydration and something emollient, something moisturizing, locks everything in, makes things softer, but you need that water in there first. Same thing with this. It helps to hydrate your hair, and it smells like coconut, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you guys, that's hair. Let's move on to face. So my table is so incredibly small that I have these piles all over the room, and I have to get up and pick up the stuff and put it on this table. And when I do, sometimes I'm a different color. So right now I'm looking kind of tan. This is not the color that I am, but we're gonna go for it. For my skincare, there's not a lot that I use that comes from Sephora, although there are some nice products. But let's start with what I do have and love. The Tatcha Camellia, I think it's called 2-in-1 Cleansing Oil. I've been using this for years. I've tried other oils, and for me, there's nothing better. Many oils feel like there's detergents in them, so you don't get a slippy feeling afterwards because they're using, I think, the wrong oil. So using an oil, I end up feeling stripped, which is the weirdest thing. I do not feel stripped with this. I do not. I've heard people say, I think it was Angie who said she felt greasy and she broke out, and I would say, be sure that you're rinsing enough. This is not something, rinse 3 times. Rinse your face more than you think you need to, and never use hot water. Always tepid. Don't use cold either. I also use this to massage my face. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm oftentimes just, yesterday my eyes were just watering. That's how much water was in my face. And I will use this. I've used oils to do facial massage, but I find that they dry out and then you have to add more, and because many of them are thick, you're going harder than you should be, especially if you're doing lymphatic. You should be barely touching your face for lymphatic. I do it with this. So usually in the morning, a couple of pumps, boop, boop, boop. I watch a couple of videos, do my massage, and then I go rinse my face. My face is clean. I use it at night as well. Not every single day, but I love it. I cannot recommend it enough. TLC Sukari Baby Facial from Drunk Elephant. I've tried others. I do not know of one that is better than this. That's it. I don't use it very frequently. My skin can be sensitive, but that's the one that I use. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to get this again. Laneige Cream Skin. This is so interesting. It's a moisturizer and a toner. How is that possible? It is somehow hydrating and moisturizing at the same time. If you have oily skin or normal skin and you're feeling a little oily, you might put this on and that's it. For me, it's part of the layers. I love to add my moisturizer, my toners, my essences in layers and build up my hydration and moisturization. In the fall, winter, when it's really, really dry, I do this. Today, I didn't do one of my moisturizers and I did this instead. But because I only use it in the fall, winter, I'm not sure if I need to get one right now, but I will be getting one again. This is the A Passione. I'm so proud that I can almost read this. Retinol something. I will be doing a video on my retinol Retin-A program. I use this, retinol. I also use Retin-A, and I also use retinaldehyde. Again, because my skin is sensitive, I alternate days, and this is the first, after no kidding, 10 years of trying, retinol product that made sense to me, that I felt was giving me results, that was comfortable to wear, that moisturized me at the same time, didn't leave my skin feeling dry. The first. I cannot speak highly enough of this product if you have sensitive skin, but you want to get into anti-aging. That is a great one. And finally, my Supergoop. This is called a setting powder, but it's not. It's a sunscreen powder. Pull it out, pull this down. Powder comes out here. I'm almost done. I've gone through a couple of these, and this time of year, we're coming into summer, I start walking Lucy later, but the sun is so strong that while I try year-round when I take her out to put this on, it's not hard for me to find a shady walk. I definitely need to get this now, and I might even get 2 of them because I just learned on someone else's video that you need to spend 30 seconds in each zone to actually get the proper amount, and I want to protect my skin. So this is on my list, and that is skin. Now, let's get into foundation. You know what, I forgot one thing. This is my Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Eye Cream. There's something in here that helps to not hide, but actually heal darkness under the eyes, and I use 2 eye creams just like I use 2 moisturizers. This is my second one, and looks like this. I bought this one at the last sale because I felt I was almost done, but I think this is going to do me until the next sale, but I highly recommend that. All right, for foundations, again, I'm 59. My skin is on the drier side. I like a luminous finish. I have a lot of redness that I'd like to cover, so yeah, I can do light coverage, you know, from time to time, but generally I find myself wanting to build up, like on my cheeks where I have some redness that won't go away. Down here, I have redness as well, so that's where I'm coming from. The truth is, I don't have very much in full coverage. And by the way, I watched Alicia Archer, used to be Kinky Sweat, last night, and Rose Inc has something that looks like the Chanel thing with the water thingy with the little beads in it. I think I'm going to give that a try, because there are days when I wake up and I'm like, I'm not looking too red, and I think that might be something I like, and maybe I could use it as a base for something else. So that's something I'm thinking about getting for myself. But some of my foundations, and I'll go through quite quickly. This one, and one from Dior that they don't sell at Sephora, so I'm not going to talk about it, are very similar. They feel delicious and hydrating on the skin. They don't break down. The coverage is about the same. I do find that this color is a little bit better for me than this color. This is a little bit more warm and a little bit darker, so in the summer months when I have a little bit more color, this is it. This one can kind of do it all the time. I always have all my foundations, by the way, listed in the description box with my colors. All right, The Dior Face and Body has alcohol in it, and I don't want foundations that have alcohol on my skin. I might do it once in a while if it's insanely beautiful, but alcohol dissolves oils and lipids, which are one of the elements that your barrier is comprised of, are oils. So why would I do alcohol on my face every day? However, I have a very, very red chest, and if I'm wearing something like this, I feel that the first thing people look at, and I say this because I've seen them do it, is my chest. Like, what the hell? So this is what I use. I used to use MAC Face and Body, but they changed the colors, so I don't know what color to use. MAC Face and Body doesn't have alcohol. This does. Maybe when I run out I'll do that, but it's a good color for me and it does not transfer. So I had this on for a half an hour before I decided what to wear, and this is something you pull over your head. I was not afraid, oh no, I'm going to get my makeup on this. I love it, love it, love it. Sometimes I'll wear it on my face, but mainly I wear it on my chest. This is Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin. Really enjoy this one if you have drier skin. It gives you some good coverage, but it doesn't feel drying. It feels very comfortable and kind of cushy on your skin. Westman Atelier. If you have very, very dry skin and you need something that just feels soothing, I have two colors. The colors are not fantastic. Neither of these work for me, but I'll take the lighter color and do it in the center and the warmer color on the side, and I think I can get away with it quite nicely. If you don't have dry skin, I'm not sure you're going to like that so much unless you use just the teeniest bit. Guess we shall not count how many times I drop things. The La Mer. This is shade 150. It is beautiful. It is comfortable. It has a little bit more coverage, and I think it's just a lovely, lovely foundation. Shiseido Synchro Skin. Kind of like the La Mer. The shade range isn't fantastic. The La Mer feels a teeny, teeny bit light for me. And this is the color Quartz. I think I tried 5 or 6 bottles and returned each one. This is the closest for me, but still it's not 100% right, which is such a shame because this is so beautiful. If I had some kind of event to go to where I needed to have 100% full coverage, so nothing showed, this is probably what I do. It looks beautiful on the skin. I wish that they had some better shades, but I highly recommend it. It's not drying, it doesn't break down, it's lovely. And I think that's going to be all I'm going to say about foundations. I have a lot of foundations and love a lot of foundations, but I don't want to talk about everything I have. That's not what the video is. Those are things I recommend depending on what you want for your coverage, what kind of skin that you have, and it's a good place to start. I have a lot of concealers. How do you do? Let's talk about under eye concealing. Again, keep in mind that under my eyes I have a lot of darkness. I have darkness that looks like it's underneath the skin, and I also have, you know, kind of a rounded cheek and puffiness, so everything kind of hits right in there in between. I do have lines, I do have wrinkles, I do have puffiness. It is a war zone under my eyes. So, is there such a thing as perfection? No, not yet, but I want to share with you a couple of things that I like. First of all, the Kosas. Now, second of all, the Clinique. This Clinique and the Kosas are very similar in their texture. They're a little bit thick, but when I say thick, I mean cushy. And they feel very comfortable on the skin. They behave almost identically. Better shade variety in this line than in this line. This line, however, is clean, and I'm not sure what kind of preservatives they have, but I feel like I'm probably halfway through with both of them, even though I think this is the one that's too yellow, and this is the one I use the most, so I could be almost gone. But I feel like this is the kind of thing that you might end up throwing away before you finish it, because it feels a little different now, where this, probably not. probably not. Now both of these are fabulous with the Charlotte Tilbury corrector. I have the color 2. And using these together, magic. Really, really, but just use a little bit. I think I've done a video on it. Don't use a lot of either of these when you're doing that. The Lancome is something that I discovered, you know, when it came out last year, and I have 2 colors of that too. One is way too light and the other one is 215, which is what I use mostly. When this came out, I started using it more frequently than these, but this does not work well with that Charlotte Tilbury corrector. And then last week, and what I'm wearing today, is this from Dior. Oh, I just forgot, I have to go back to foundation. And I'm really, really liking this, you guys. There is a learning curve. See my video that posted on Wednesday. I think I also talked about it on Monday's video, and I'll be continuing to talk about it a little bit. Learning curve, if you are older, if you have drier skin, if you have lines, wrinkles, any kind of issue, if you're not completely taut and happening under the lid, you need to finesse this a little bit, but I'm really liking it. And I wanted to go back to foundation because the foundation I'm wearing, I wanted to tell you about everything I'm wearing. I don't know. I wanted to use the NARS Light Reflecting, and I have, you know, samples all over the place, and I found 2 containers that were not in the sample bag, and I thought maybe this is it. And as I put it on, I thought, I think one of them is, and I think one of them is the Kosas. But the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, I think is what it's called, that just came out, is beautiful. Beautiful. I really recommend that for a new foundation that just came out. Unfortunately, they don't make a color for me. So I have to mix Deauville and Vienna to get a decent color. Vienna is far too pink for me, and pinks usually look darker. And Deauville is a little too light for me, but it's a really solid neutral with light yellow, I suppose. Together, perfection. I am begging NARS, and I'm telling you, NARS, I'm not going to buy 2 bottles. I'm not. So make another shade. That's Deauville and Vienna together, because that foundation is beautiful. And now we finished concealers. Let's move on to the next. All right, my friends, contour. Contour. I don't do it every day. I'm doing it today. And today I am wearing Charlotte Tilbury's. A lot of people don't like this, you know, puffy thing. I love it. I disperse with that. I drop it on the floor, and I use a beauty blender, and I did a little bit up here, I did a little bit up here, I did some on my nose. So easy to work with. I love it. I love the color. It has more of an ashy tone as opposed to the Kat Von D I tried the other day, which is red. Another one, if you're going to spend some money, you'll want to get it on sale. This is the Tom Ford shade and Illuminate, and also it's not warm. And this is a gloss. So if you don't want color imparted in your highlighter, and I really don't like it that much, then this is just a lovely gloss. Of course, it doesn't look white when you blend it in. It's beautiful. So those are my 2 recommendations for contour. Let's go on to bronzers. I honestly don't have much in bronzers. My bronzers that I use the most are Victoria Beckham and a color from Surratt. And this is Seychelles, from the color Seychelles. This is Tarte Sea Breezy. It is a cream. And for me, most bronzers feel like they're like the color baby diapers. There's way, way too much yellow in them, and I don't like that look. And this one does not. This is just a beautiful, you know, if this were my skin color, it would be like, oh, you've been in the sun. You know what I mean? It's giving me a bronze. It's not giving me baby diaper. It's not yellow. So I really like that. I use it with my beauty blender. However, I just bought the Guerlain Terracotta Light Healthy Glow, and I loved the way it looked on the skin. Now, there's a mistake on the Sephora website. They say that it is color 2, medium cool. But when you look at the picture, it's got these peach colors in there. And I thought, well, I'm going to trust them. You know, maybe they know something I don't. No, they don't. They made a mistake. So I returned that. It's $58, so this is the time to get it on sale. I just have to decide on the color, but I thought it looked so pretty on the skin, and it's different than the other two I have, where that it has a little bit of highlighting quality as well, because there's little puzzle pieces of colors in there, right? So there's a couple of browns for your bronzers, there's a little pink for your pinkness, and then there's a highlighting one. So it gives a beautiful sheen to the skin, and since I don't have something like that, I am going to get that at the sale. And today, I don't think I'm wearing bronzer. Yeah, because I wanted to just keep it to everything I had. I was tempted to try on something else. Oh, you know what I used as bronzer? But it's, even though this is called Bronze and Glow, I use this as a contour, and I forgot to mention it. Because, again, this color is quite cool. So this to me, even though Bronze and Glow, I actually went over my contour with this to kind of set it, and then I brought some up on the forehead because I didn't feel like doing a cream today. So this, really lovely for a contour or bronzer. All right, highlighters. It's remarkable how many highlighters I have. Look, I don't have anywhere near as many highlighters as a lot of people who have channels, but considering I don't use highlighter very often, I have a lot. So I'll try to be quick. Makeup by Mario really started working for me when he got into powder products. This is called Pearl, and this is what I'm wearing today. And it's just a sheen, you know? You can build this up and make it pow. Pow, wow, 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 wow. In fact, I mislaid, I don't know where my highlighter brush is, so I used something else. I'm like, ooh, that's a lot. But you can make it pretty subtle as well. It's just a beautiful, neutral, not even quite champagne, you know, just ideal if you don't want color, if you want something subtle. I enjoy this one very, very much in the powder department. Another one I really enjoy that no one talks about is the Laura Mercier. So it looks like this. I think it's still around. I think it is a classic. And this has a little bit more warmth, but as you might be able to see, it's also that champagne-y thing. And another one that is very, very subtle. So I did a pretty big swatch of it there. But you see that sheen? It's just subtle. The powder itself is silky. It's a lovely one, and both of these, the pans are so big, unless you are putting this all over your face every day, they'll last you for a long time. Where creams don't necessarily do that, but I have to say, creams are kind of my favorite. This is my hands down favorite. This is the original Charlotte Tilbury in the color Spotlight. I feel like it is perfection on me, and we're going to take a break and just put on a little more. So I'm wearing the Makeup Mario, but I'm just going to put a touch, a spotlight right there. And again, you could really put some of this on and it would be dramatic, or you can just do the teeniest bit. I adore this one. Say, this is a little tricky. There's a learning curve with this. It is a liquid. And I suggest that you disperse it first on your hand and spread it out a little bit, and then go in, because it's quite watery, and it will go a long, long way. I suppose you could, if you wanted to, use this like the Hollywood Flawless filter and use it before you put on your foundation. Look how lovely that is. It's not sparkly. It's not Tin Manny. It's just, you know, I haven't rubbed it in. It's just lovely. It looks like your skin is silk, but you know, also could just do this, but really this would last me forever. In fact, I would say, because the pump is so generous, you're likely to waste a lot of it, so be careful with the pump. It's lovely. It smells really nice. And this is the small size. It smells like rose. And Westman Atelier. Elegant packaging, all of my things, if they get near each other, they knock down, they like hit each other. She has so many lovely highlighters, but this one is Nectar, and I'm really building it up. Look at that. Oh, beautiful, comfortable, not scented. Well, there could be a naturally occurring scent based on the ingredients here. I love this color. It's a teeny bit peachy rather than gold. And of course I wouldn't wear it this heavy. And I wonder if you could put this all over your face before your foundation too. She has several colors. I also have Brûlée, which when I got this, I thought, well, what is the point of this? Because it's called a highlight stick. If you have dark skin, that's going to be freaking insane on you, right? But I mean dark skin, because your skin has to be at least this color or darker. It's not going to look good on medium skin as a highlighter. But Gucci picked it up with her fingers and she put it like under the cheekbones and used it almost like a contour slash bronzer. And it looks beautiful that way. So whether you're looking for a bronzer like this, and as you can see, hopefully you can see, it's not yellow, so it's great for a bronzer for me. Or if you have darker skin, fantastic, fantastic, and that's highlighters. I had to feed her, and then I took a perfume break, you guys. You can't get this at Sephora. But this is by Ego Facto. It's called Poo Poo Pidou, named after Marilyn Monroe. And this is so good. I think you can only get it in Europe. They might ship to the United States. Poo Poo Pidou. I know I have a lot of European followers, so you might know this one. All right, let's move on to blush. Last night, I sat on the floor here and I took out things. I had already done my list, and as I'm taking things out, I'm thinking, oh, what about that? Oh, I have to include that. So the list has gotten a little bit longer than intended, but let's go with the newest. I just got this Laura Mercier moisturizing blush, tinted moisturizer blush, which is a weird name, but I really, really like this. And I think this is worth taking a look at. A little goes a long way, so that'll last you for a very long time. On my cheeks today, I am wearing Pat McGrath. So when Pat McGrath came out, I was kind of bummed that the bright colors had a dark base. So I could do this and say, oh, look at that color, it's great. And then when I turned this way, you could actually see darkness on my cheeks. But she does have a couple of colors that are like evergreens. I turn to these when I just don't know what to do. Like today, my eye look is very warm and I didn't know what to do. I did this. Divine Rose. And this one is Flirtatious. And online I thought, oh, come on, man, that's not going to show up. But you know, I use this all the time when I want kind of a mellow look. Either my eyes are big, my lips are big, and I want my cheeks mellow, or I just want the whole thing to be mellow. I love both of these. They're both kind of cool undertoned, and which I'm kind of over. I did it for many, many years when I was younger, but these are great. I also have Desert Orchid, which is quite warm, and I almost put that on today, but I thought it would be too much warmth. You know, warmth on the eyes, warmth on the cheeks, warmth on the lips. A little too much, and I definitely need to reapply my lip, but these are really, really lovely. We'll get to these, but this is my favorite lip gloss at Sephora. Busy Art. Okay, more blushes. Hourglass really did a good job with these. I got both these colors, Revel and Loyal, because I don't have anything just like them. This is incredibly nudie, although it does remind me of one of Lisa Eldridge's colors. I can't remember which one. Maybe Dante's Dream. And this is such a vibrant color. I put it on, I thought, whoa, I have nothing like this. It's like a vibrant coral that is crazy and somehow absolutely workable. The formula is lovely, but for me it's really about the colors. They're expensive, so this is the time to get them if you're interested. If you do want a cream, but you don't like crazy colors and you'd like to spend a little less money, the Makeup by Mario's are lovely. The packaging is really strange. It feels really cheap, like it's going to fall apart. There's a brush on the end, and it's a decent brush, but I know a lot of people don't like that. What's important is the formula is lovely and the colors are lovely. This is earthy pink. That is just so nice. That's the kind of color you go to when, again, I don't know what I want to do, but I need some blush. And this one I think is probably called Coral. It's too small for me to read. Do you see the difference between this? This is like an orange coral, and this is like a pinky coral. These are lovely. They're easy to work with. I have nothing bad to say about them. I also, like I said with the highlighter, his powder products are beautiful. This I think is the only one I have, and I think it's called Mellow Mauve. It seems like it's the same as the Pat McGrath, but it's not. And it's absolutely lovely. I'm really pleased with his blush products. Now, Rare Beauty also. I don't use these as much. I haven't found a color that's just like, yes. So this one I'm pretty sure is Joy, and this is pretty, oh, you know what? It's not too different. It's muddier. So this is the Hourglass, and this is the Joy. There's more of a brownish in there. And this barely shows up on my skin. I thought the idea would be either mixing them or just when I need a little something. But the truth is, when you have a lot of redness on your cheeks, a color like that's not going to have much impact. But it's lovely. And you can also mix it with something like this that might be a little too much on its own. These feel like they're kind of starting to turn, like one of them felt thick and the other one felt liquidy. So because they're like a souffle kind of thing, you can't really shake them up, although I'm going to try. But they're lovely. There is a learning curve. I've heard people say it's really easy, just put a little on. Yes, just put a little on and you're not going to have any problems with it. But you're going to have, you know, it'll take you a couple of tries to figure out the best way for you. I love these. Nobody loved these. These are her little, this looks like a little bean. Come on. I love it. I love the color. It's kind of like the Makeup by Mario, but the Makeup by Mario is deeper in tone. They both have a similar undertone. This one's just a little lighter and probably a little more sheer, but there's definitely a little more white in that one. I love that. I don't know why people don't. I do. And finally, the Patrick Ta. These are the Duo something or others. I like this particular shade. She's so LA. Now this was one of the original releases, and when it came out I thought, what's the point? It looks like a bronzer. Why don't you just put bronzer on? But that's not true. There is a pinkness to this, and this is another one of those things where if I don't know what I want to wear, I would pull to this. A lot of these you've seen me wear quite often, but not recently, because if I feel I'm wearing something too often, this is the cream, this is the powder, then I will put it away and pull something else out, because I am a creature of habit like we all are, and yeah, it's just something I want to do. So those I wore plenty. These two quite a bit, have been tucked away, but I like them a lot for their neutrality and for when you don't know what you want to wear, you just don't have to think about it too much. Those are really, really lovely shades and lovely formulas. And now we're going to move on to powders. All right, for powders, I'm looking for a powder that will help mattify me because I often sit down here with a very shiny face because of my sunscreen, and I prefer radiant finish, and also foundations that have a matte finish 100% always oxidize on me. So I do need a powder, and my favorite powder is by Terry, but I have some other powders that I also love. The Kosas is one of them. I now have this in 2 colors. The problem with Kosas is, I'm recommending this, but it can hard pan. So if you have a lot sunscreen, blah, blah, blah on your face, you pick up your brush and then you go into here and you go back and forth, the oils will transfer from the brush to this and you need to fix that hard pan. I will put the video I did on how to fix this right up here. And the other thing about this is it is colored, as you can see. Now, if you put powder all over your face, it's not a problem because you look the same color everywhere. But if you don't, and I pretty much powder right here and right here, a little on the chin just for good measure, and if the color isn't right for my foundation, it starts to look obvious towards the end of the day. It's probably just something I notice, but I do notice it. So if you powder all over the face, not a problem. If you have a foundation that matches the powder perfectly, or powder that matches your foundation perfectly, not a problem. You look absolutely poreless. Your pores disappear with this. It's crazy. Oh, I'll do my review, my original review. I'll post that right up here. Crazy. Now here's something I don't think I've ever worn on screen, and I was doing my makeup today and I thought, I still have a lot of shine going on from my sunscreen and from whatever foundation I had put on my face. I think one was a NARS and one was the Kosas, and I really needed something, and I put on my By Terry, and I'm like, I still need something. I thought, oh, why don't I try this? So these are the BALMS Meteorites, and this color is pretty light, especially since I have a bit of a bronzy look. You know, I'm wearing a yellow shirt, my eyeshadow is bronzy, I'm kind of doing the bronzy thing, but I have to say, even though I thought this is a little cool for what's going on, it's mellowed out. It's really given a lovely, lovely sheen, and you probably know that these are kind of expensive, so this might be the time to do it. This is 3 medium. This is the only one I know. I know Michelle has a ton of them, but I don't know if she has a video on, you know, just going through them. Probably not, but I know she has shown colors on these. I don't know. This might be something you want to get. I'm loving my overall finish, and today, you guys, I'm wearing so much makeup. I'm wearing makeup that I usually don't use on my videos or on an everyday basis. I'm wearing contour, I'm wearing highlight, I'm wearing the foundation, of course, the concealer I always do. I just feel like, you know, I'm wearing a lot of things I normally don't, and yet I don't feel like I look like a cakey wakey, and I don't feel like I'm looking like, lady, you overdid it on the makeup today. And I do think that this powder is part of the reason why. I took my big $250 Sephora brush and did it. At first it looked a little too light, but now I think it's looking pretty darn nice. Okay, mascara. Mascara, I'm fussy. I like a natural mascara that really looks like I have beautiful lashes. It doesn't look like I'm wearing mascara. The mascara that did that for me is no longer being made. And the Kush from Milk almost pretty much does it. Depends on how new it is. It also can get down here and smudge and sometimes flake. I find if I put powder right under here, because this is where it usually happens, and it's probably from me squinting because I can't see, putting powder right there really, really helps. I love the lash that that gives me. And right now, when I first tried this on, I said, oh no, this is way too much for me. I don't like this kind of false eyelash look. This is one coat, and when I say one coat, I don't mean I went over 10 times just dipping in once. I mean like 1, 2, like that. And it makes my lashes look kind of crazy, I think. This is the Ilia Volumizing. And it's funny, I put it on and I'm like, I don't know, I don't think so. And somebody said in the comments, I love this on you. And I looked at it again and said, you know what? You're right. And I used it from a sample, and I went out and bought the big thing. Really like that. So those are 2 mascaras that you get at Sephora that I can recommend for the aesthetic. Eyeliner from Sephora, and I'm not sure they carry this color. I do have another one. This is the Charlotte Tilbury. It's in gray, or sometimes they call it smoky gray. It used to be called Verushka. And I use this on my tight line because I can see that skin and I hate it. And it's not one of those things that's waterproof, it's going to stay all day, but it's pretty solid. And I like the gray because my eyes are smaller. I feel that black, I think it's a combination of my eyes are smaller, my skin is fairer. That black is too harsh, and this is what I go to. I use it almost every day. I've tried browns, and browns are fine too, but I like this pencil better. So eyeliner, that's kind of it. Although, you know what, I have to give a mention, a solid mention to, and I have more of these. These are from Makeup Forever, and they are useful for eyes and lips, which I really, really like. So I could put this on the lips, I could put this on the eyes. I used it when I did my Natasha Denona pastel palette, and there's a symphony of, I don't know, leaf blowers going on. Okay, it seems to have abated a teeny bit. Really like these. My son is going to be gone in 20 minutes, so I apologize, but I do work with natural light. I do have this door open, and that's what my key light is. So, yeah. All right, lipsticks. I'm going to break this down into a couple categories, but for me, it's so hard to say, oh, my favorite, my favorite. It really is. I love lipstick. It can just change your mood. It can change your look. It can change your life. No, it can't. But I remember, you know, I used to, when I was feeling blue or out of sorts, I'd treat myself to a lipstick. And always brought my mood up. The Bite, I think it's called Soft Matte. They are on sale. I don't know why. I'm deeply afraid they're going to discontinue them. I actually went on the Bite site like a couple of weeks ago, and I think I bought about 4 or 5 colors and a backup of this one. These are incredibly comfortable. They are matte, and they're very flattering. This is Sesame, which is kind of a pinky nude. It's really, for me, like my lip but better. The ideal shade for me if I want to go a little bit nude without being dramatic. I want to finish myself up. Like if you're doing a light makeup look and you go without lips, I feel like, or if I go without lips, I feel like I look unfinished. At least I need some kind of balm on. Which, speaking of balms, the Fenty, this, I think it's called Pro Kisser Luscious Lip. This is what you'll oftentimes see me wearing when I'm doing a video, just keeping my lips a little comfortable before I get to it. And I keep one in the car, very comfortable. It won't melt in the car because it's already a liquid. And I really, really like these quite a bit. And this will help me look finished. So here's the Fenty. But you get the idea. It just helps to give me a finished look if I'm doing a hardly anything look. And I love it. I use it all the time. Also, these Givenchy's sheer mattes, I adore them. They are matte, they feel like balms, and they're sheer. You can build it a little bit, but what it does is it gives you that look like you wore some lipstick and it has faded. I will post right here a link to my video where I lip and hand swatched all of them, but these are some of the colors and they are lovely. I love these. These were probably my favorite lipsticks for most of the year, but strong honorable mention to the Bite and also honorable mention to the Makeup by Mario Ultra Suede. And one thing I really love about Makeup by Mario is he doesn't do those obvious colors. I've mentioned this on many videos before. I feel that many brands just do the same colors over and over, and it's just a matter of pick your favorite brand or pick your favorite formula. Where Makeup by Mario and Bite both, their colors are a little bit different, because after all, if you are somebody who loves makeup or you just love lipstick, you're going to get to a point where it's like, well, I already have that. I already have that. I have that in a different formula. You know what I mean? I don't think I have anything like these. Okay, Western Atelier came out with the Les Nudes last year. It was a limited edition. This is a different formula than her others. This is much more comfortable, and it's such a pretty, pretty, pretty look. And you can get a nude out of it, or you can get something a little pinkier out of it. And one thing I really like is you can kind of mix it so that it works with your skin tone. I would jump on it, man, because it sold out pretty quick. Speaking of Western Atelier, I was doing this in categories, but I guess I'm gonna just move on. This is her liquid balm, squeaky clean. Smells insane, a little lemony. I'm gonna put some on, even though it's not with this look. Imparts the teeniest bit of color. It's beautiful. It's an experience, you know, and it's a good experience. These Tower 28 glosses are really, really comfortable. They don't impart very much color. I really enjoyed this formula quite a bit. That was a very sloppy application. Feels very, very, very similar to the Visearts. I prefer the Visearts. There's something about the Viseart that I like better. Feels slightly nicer. This one came out first. I do think that they copied this. It's a gloss. It is not heavy, it is not sticky, and it feels actually nourishing. These are both things that you should consider getting at the sale, I think. And the last gloss, I forgot, I wanted to talk about this. I did a review when this first came out and I thought, I don't like it. I do like the fact that it's not high shine. That I appreciate, which is what other people complained about. But it felt heavy to me. That something happened. It's different than what I'm used to or what I prefer, but it's really pretty. And then this is the second one that I got, and it is comfortable, and it has a little bit of staying power. Not a huge staying power, but a little bit more than, for instance, the Westman Atelier. It doesn't feel like the Westman Atelier, but I love that this isn't too shiny either. It's not like you're being blinded by the shine on your lips. Really pretty. Rare beauty. All right, let's talk about mattes. I love mattes. You probably know that. I mean, the Bite, the Makeup by Mario, the Givenchy. But liquid mattes. I think this is the perfect red. This is Fenty. I love most of the colors that she did. They were fantastic, perfect pitch colors. They're very thin and liquidy. They stay on. I don't find them to be too drying, you know? They are a liquid lipstick, but they're not, it's not uncomfortable in the way that I feel like I have to get this off my lips. Also, we have from NARS, the Soft Matte. I think it's called Air Matte or Soft Matte. I love this color. It's called Shag. And every time I wear this in a video, which isn't too often, people ask me what color I'm wearing. It's just perfect, but they don't have it in another formula. And Rare Beauty has a moussey matte as well. This one I find a little more comfortable than the NARS. And this color is called Brave, and it's just lovely. It's one of those colors that not everybody's doing, although there are similar colors for sure. But this color, Brave, in the fall and winter, fabulous. And I think my final lipstick, because, you know, lipstick, come on, I could just do it all day. This is from Ilia. I believe this is called Cinnabar or maybe Gingerbread or something. I can't tell you how opaque this is. That was one swipe. This feels like a $50 lipstick. It really, really does. Fantastic opacity, incredibly comfortable, which I'm very, very fussy about the lips. This lipstick is fabulous. I wish they had more shades because it is one of the most comfortable, most opaque, most rich in color lipsticks at Sephora, I think. And now I think it's time to go on to eyes. We're going to look at palettes, you guys. All right, eyeshadow palettes. You know, it's kind of like asking to pick your favorite child. It's just an impossible. This is why I don't like to do favorites videos. I like to do face of the month videos. I very much enjoy the color stories that Natasha Denona puts together. The looks that she does are just crazy. Come on, I'm not going to leave the house looking like that. I am wearing this palette today. This is the bronze palette and it's stunning. Yes, it's very, very warm. And I wish it had something that was a cream color, you know, that I could use to blend things out with. But this is the look that I put together today and it is beautiful. And I remember when I bought this, I kept on turning to it just for one or two shades, which is really interesting, even though I kind of don't like these kinds of colors. This color right here, if I move this, maybe you can see. Yeah, you can. There's a pinkishness to this. It's almost like Orgasm, where there's pink and gold in it. And I actually have it right here. And these two shades right here is what makes it special. Without these two shades in the aubergine family, it would be like, okay, whatever, I've seen it. We've all seen it. But we haven't because of the pink, because of this. and it's easy to work with. It's a beautiful palette. If you like the warms, you should consider this. If, however, you like the neutrals, then you need to try to look at this. And there's a lot of ways to go with this one as well, because you can bring in the silvery tones if you wanted. There's a little bit of goldish here, or a little bit of pinkish, a little bit of grayish, more of a taupey color. It looks one-dimensional, but I really don't think that it is. Fantastic quality. If cool is your thing, you need to take a look at that. If you're doing a little bit in the middle, a little bit of mulberry, I did this on Tamara when she was in town, and I didn't do a fantastic job. Let's be real. I try hard though. I really, really do. But it's hard doing makeup on somebody else, you're afraid you're going to hurt them. But I love this palette, and it's not, again, like there's shades of retro, work really good with retro, where I think the Love palette works, which is the pink palette she did, that started this whole wave of knocking it out of the park. That was the first one for me. That works well with the bronze palette. But this is also lovely. You can get evening, you can get day out of all of these, 100%. And you guys, I know it wasn't popular. On my channel it wasn't. I saw other people get a lot of views. I had a feeling it wouldn't on my channel, but I really enjoy this. It will be on sale, so committing to this much money for a palette you might not use that often might make more sense. But let's move on from Natasha Denona, because I just don't think you can go wrong with her, really. Let's take a look at Dior, because this is cashmere, and it is lovely. Again, it's the kind of thing that could be daily if you prefer things on the cool zone. And some of these shades, to me, just one and done. Just put them all over your lids, leave the house. No fuss, no muss. These new formulas are not only easier to work with, they're a little more pigmented, where I found with the previous formulas, some were good and some were so sheer. There was no payoff at all. And it wasn't like, well, you have to build it. It was like, there's nothing actually here. They took those away. They came back with these. They're beautiful formulas, and the color stories they're putting together initially were really, really nice. And this one is called Nude Dress. If you want something a little more warm on a daily basis, it's still neutral, but it's a little bit warmer, but it's not warm. So there's a little peach in here, but it's still a little bit taupey right here. That would be a lovely everyday palette to consider. And I think that's going to be it, you guys. Yay. I think I told you the things that I'm thinking of getting. Definitely the Grand, definitely the Rose Ink Water Tint something or other. I'm going to be getting some Tom Ford quads. Yes, I am. I'm not going to tell you which ones because I don't want you to get it before me. And it'll probably be sold out, but I'm certainly going to try to get a couple of Tom Ford quads because they are definitely expensive. And yeah, I've got my list kind of together. I will be going back and forth and weeding things down and adding things. I mean, I'm going to continue to watch other people's videos that are up early to get some ideas. And who knows how much mine will change, but I will definitely be spending a little bit of money here. And it only happens twice a year, so why not? And that's going to wrap up today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Say hello down below. Let me know what you're getting. If you've made it to the end, it's probably 5 of you. Hi. Thank you so much for staying to the end. Please give the video a thumbs up. And until we meet again, be safe, be smart, and I'm wishing you good health.